What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Outdoor Life with Nick Laws, in association with the Montana Wilderness Survival and Bushcraft School. Today we're going to talk about something that's a little off topic. It's a little different. I put a poll on the Facebook group page if people would be interested in seeing civilian survival stuff, more of a prep type stuff. Now, this isn't a prepper channel, but I believe if I have information that could be helpful to even one person, that it's worth sharing. So we're going to get into some budget ways for long-term food storage. It's very simple, and I enjoy doing it. I do it on my own on a regular basis, and I'll show you exactly what we're doing here. If you'd like to be a part of it, if you're on Facebook, check out Outdoor Life with Nick Laws on Facebook. It's a group, and on there you'll see a lot of stills and different things like that. Questions, polls, just announcements, hellos. I've got a great community there on the Facebook group. So if you get a chance and you're on Facebook, check that out. So without further ado, we'll get right into that budget long-term food storage. All right, so I've always had some kind of stash set aside. There's a lot of reasons in a survival mentality. The same mentality that you're gonna need in a wilderness survival situation is going to be the same mentality you need in a civilian survival situation. There's lots of different things that could put you in this situation in your civilian world where you're going to need a few days, hopefully that's it, of food and water. And I'm not going to get too much into politics or socioeconomic situations or natural this and that, and you know, a lot of it, if you watch the internet, is just garbage. But I think it's a wise idea to just have something on hand in case you need it, even if it's just for a few days. So let's go over some of the stuff that I have, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I do that I believe if everybody did just a little bit each month or each week, that you would be in a very, very good position if you ever had to take care of yourself. One thing that's nice, and you know, even 10 years ago wouldn't have been as easy, but now with Amazon and the internet, your ability to find out how things work and how to get stuff, you know, it's just absolutely fantastic. So what I did is I went on Amazon and I got some Mylar bags. Now I got 20 of these 1 gallon Mylar bags, and it came with 20 300 cc oxygen absorbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to store foods in these Mylar bags, add the oxygen absorber. You don't have to vacuum seal it. You fold it over and you seal this thing nice and tight, and the oxygen absorber is going to do the rest of it. So these for about 21 gallon bags and 20 of the oxygen absorbers was under $20. I think it was like $18. And these are actually stretching a lot farther than I thought. I'm actually cutting these in half, sealing the bottom. I'm getting 2 bags usually out of one of these bags. And I'll go into show you some of the stuff that I've already sealed up, and then I'll go ahead and seal some for you. All right, and actually before I go into showing you the stuff that I have sealed up, ooh, I got this tote here. These totes are like $5 at Walmart. So we're doing this all budget friendly. So a place that I go all the time is the dollar store. Now, if you go into the dollar store, you can get these 2-pound bags of pasta. That's only $1. These bags of dried beans, $1 a piece. They have all different kinds. Depending on how you hit them, sometimes you get 2-pound bags. These are 2 1-pound bags and a 1.5 pounds. So we got some pinto beans, some kidney beans, and some black beans. So these are $1 a piece also. And then we've got, what do we got here? 2 pounds of rice. Yep, 2 pounds of white rice. So right there, that's $5. I've got 1, 2, 3, 3.5 pounds of beans, 2 pounds of pasta, and 2 pounds of rice for $5. Now, if you went and spent $20 a paycheck, say you get paid twice a month, you spend $40 a month at the dollar store on preps, your storage would increase really fast. And not only that, at the dollar store, if you really want to grab cheap prepper stuff, survival stuff, even for your outdoor stuff, they've got boxes of 6-hour candles, big boxes of matches, first aid stuff you can just stock up on and throw in a box and stack up on, gauze and things like that. They have small bottles of Advil and aspirin. So spending $20 a paycheck in the dollar store is going to get you pretty far pretty quick. So let's go into what I got already sealed up. Toilet paper is another thing you're going to want to keep on hand. Now this thing's getting heavy. It's only half full, but these are pretty cheap. They're $5. They do the trick, but I don't want to overweigh this thing if I have to move this or whatever, and I don't want to ruin the bag. So I'm filling the top with toilet paper. There are other options, and they're costly. This is a 72-hour emergency food kit. So you're getting 72 hours worth of calories for one person. It has a shelf life of 25 years. But I got these on sale. It's the only reason I bought them. I bought one for the car and one to just test out. I'm probably going to take some of these hiking. They're freeze-dried meals. They're expensive. I got them on sale for $10 a piece, but normally they're $24.95 for just this kit. So for $25, I could get literally 30 pounds of food at the dollar store. But, you know, the stuff from the dollar store is not going to just keep for a very long time in the packages that they come in. So I'm going to show you how I'm packaging these things up, and I'm going to get 20 years off of these on the shelf. So let's get into that. So these are options, and these are good quick options. I'm going to keep one of these in the car until it gets hot out, because the heat from a closed vehicle will kill the shelf life on this. So it's like water in the winter. I don't store water in the car in the winter, and I won't store these in the car in the summer, just to keep the shelf life good. But yeah, we'll have a kit like this in the car, and we'll just test these out. We'll probably do a video just testing out what these taste like. So I'm going to pull these out real quick because I don't want to go through the whole thing. Another thing that you can do, and as you can tell, this looks shrink wrapped. You know, I mean, like, you know, vacuum sealed. What it is you just fold this over before you seal it and get the majority of the air out, and the oxygen absorber is going to do the rest of the job. So this has been completely sealed. This is actually dog food. If you have pets and animals, you can't forget about them. So, you know, each time I open a fresh thing of dog food, I'm going to go ahead and do a big fat pack of, you know, this is 1 gallon. I don't know what it actually weighed out to be, of dried dog food for the dog. So don't forget about your pets too. So, I mean, as you can tell, that sucked right up. And this is in Mylar with the oxygen absorber. And you can do other things in food. This is matches. I just had an extra piece. I was testing out how I'm sealing the bag, so I threw some matches in here. But if we go through here, and again, I'm not going to go through everything. We've got 1.5 pounds of pinto beans. Did that on the 11th. Those are nice and sealed in there. This is 4 pounds of white rice. Let's see, we can just keep going right through here. Here's 2 pounds of white rice. We've got 2 pounds of small red kidney beans. So, you know, these add up quick. And this is very inexpensive. That pile of food that I showed you was $5 at the dollar store. So, you know, you're not spending an arm and a leg. Another thing I like to grab is salt. I've got quite a few containers of salt in here. Some seasonings, because, you know, why not add a little flavor if you're in that position where you're actually eating this stuff and you're living on this stuff. Go ahead and throw some seasonings in there. Got some teas. But for the most part, it's pastas, beans, and rices. I live in an area of the country where getting proteins, fish, wild game, would be very easy for me. So I'm not worried about all that stuff. What I've got is all my rice, my beans, my pastas, salt, seasonings. Here's another pound of rice. So just in here we got 1.5 pounds of pinto beans. Now you figure each one of these was about $1 at the dollar store, the contents anyway. So altogether with the cost of the bags, this is probably $1.75 in investment for 1.5 pounds of pinto beans that are gonna last me a really, really, really long time. Another thing you can do is medicines. Now what I have here is amoxicillin. It's a 21 count. It's 3 per day. It's a 7-day course of amoxicillin. This was unused from somebody that had a dental procedure and they didn't need it. And what I did is I put an oxygen absorber in here. So this is a 7-day course of amoxicillin that's stored. Now, there's a controversy in the shelf life of antibiotics, but what the pharmacist or the FDA considers an expired antibiotic is because it's dipped down below, like, I forget the actual number, so don't 100% quote me on this, but like a 93% active antibiotic. So I've read some things where at 10 years, you're still at like 92% active, or at 15 years, it's at 80% active. I'd rather have a pack of 80% active antibiotics in an emergency situation than none at all. So this is another thing you can do, is you can take some medications, even if this was Advil, whatever, and you can go ahead and seal it up airtight with an oxygen absorber, and this is gonna last you a lot longer than it would just sitting in the bottle that it came in. So with that said, this is exactly some stuff that I do. I have a lot of other things going on too with water and stuff, but I just wanna kind of show you where we're at with this for budget long-term food storage. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, and I won't do all of these for you, but we'll go ahead and we'll get 2 of these done on camera for you. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is label it. And I probably should have grabbed my marker. Let's see if I can get it. Ta-da. All right. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is label it. You wanna know what's in it and date it. So let's do, we're gonna do 1 pound of black beans. Then we're gonna put today's date on it. Now, like I was saying, I can get, this is 1 bag. There's 20 of these in that pack for 18 bucks. I can actually get 2 or 3 uses depending on what I'm sealing up in one of these bags. There's one more thing about this with the oxygen absorbers. You want to expose these to the air as little as possible for a short amount of time as possible, because they're going to start absorbing oxygen. So they come in a nice sealed pack. I cut them open, I took the ones out that I wanted to use, and I resealed them in this pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this one for you on camera. I'll get the rest of these done on my own time. Actually, I have one other thing I want to show you. What I'll do is I'll open this up, I'll take it out, I'll use it, and I'll reseal this right away so that these remaining oxygen absorbers aren't going to waste absorbing, you know, just the oxygen from the room as they sit open. So that's another thing. You want to keep these sealed as you're processing. So if you're doing a bulk item, when I did this first batch, when I got these bags, I filled them all up, I set them all up, I got ready to seal them all, and then I opened the oxygen absorbers, put them in each one and sealed them as I went, so that I exposed the oxygen absorbers, you know, outside of a sealed pack for as little as possible. So we're doing 1 pound of black beans, and I found, you know, trial and error with the first few, that actually a little over 1/3 of this Mylar bag is going to be plenty for 1 pound of beans. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. So we got that. Now this is still a usable part. You can seal this end, fill it, and seal the top end. So this is still usable. So we'll go ahead, we'll open up our black beans, and we're gonna pour it in there. Now sealing them, you can buy fancy sealers, especially if you've got, or if you have a vacuum sealer. I don't have a vacuum sealer. Then it's got the melting bar right on it. Other things you can do is your household iron that you would use to iron your clothes, and a flat edge. And what I'm using is actually a hair straightener. So if your significant other has a hair straightener, or you have a hair straightener, you can go ahead, and the hair straightener will actually seal this Mylar together. It gets hot enough to melt it right away. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna open up our oxygen absorbers. Let me get this hair straightener heated up. So here we have a hair straightener. This one has settings. So it goes from up to 455 degrees. I found that's too hot. I do it at 392. Heats up pretty quick. Where'd my scissors go? There they are. So again, you're going to want to expose these as little as possible to the oxygen. So we're going to go ahead and cut us a straight line off the top. We're going to pull one out. We're going to put it right in the bag with the beans. And I'm going to seal this right back up. Now you see this thing will literally seal this shut that quick. That's sealed. Completely sealed, watertight, airtight. If you're not feeling, sometimes I'll hold the corners, just get a good clamp on the corners. That seals it right up. So I've resealed those. So you go ahead, got your oxygen over there, your product. Go ahead and give it a fold, forces some of the air out. Hope you can see that. And slide your heat source, whether it's an iron on a straight edge. This works really good across the top. So there you have it. We have a sealed bag of black beans. Now there is a little air in there. Like I said, you don't have to vacuum seal these. If you have a vacuum sealer, it doesn't hurt to do it. But the rest of the air that's in there, very little, that oxygen absorber is actually going to suck up. As you saw with those other bags, they were sucked right up. And that's the oxygen absorber doing its job. So there we have it. 1 pound of black beans. If you want to go ahead and just, like I said, I clamped the corners, double check those. Not 100% sure on the shelf life, but I would trust this for a very long time. A lot longer than it would just in the bags that it comes in. And again, these are $1. So this with, you break down the cost, this was about $1.75 compared to what a $25 72-hour kit for one person. Now I have long-term food storage on a budget. So if you have the opportunity, look up the bags on Amazon. It's about $20 for the ones I got. I'm actually going to run out of oxygen absorbers before I run out of bags. I'm getting, multiple uses out of the bag. And then hit the dollar store. Buy gallons of water. I have gallons and gallons of water are set aside. Medical supplies, candles. The dollar store is an amazing place while we still have something like that to get bulk items like this very cheap. All the beans, the pastas, the rices. Like I said, I throw salt in there, seasonings. There are canned goods, but these nice dried goods in these bags are going to last a lot longer. Canned goods do have long shelf life, and they're probably better for longer than they say. But this is the way to go for me. I'm really enjoying doing it. It's actually a lot of fun also. And like I said, we're going to do a small one here. You can also do, so here, we're going to cut a little square. So here's a square of that Mylar. And what we're going to do is we're going to seal up the ends that we cut, except for one end. So as you can see, with this hair straightener is really easy. Or the Bachelor grilled cheese maker. So here we got it sealed up on 3 sides. And what I actually was able to get my hands on is another large dose of antibiotics. Now this is something that in a long-term situation, survival situation, is going to be short and you really need. There's other options that you can get into for storing antibiotics. If you look up fish mocks. It's a supplement that you give your fish if you have a fish tank, and they have amoxicillin, they have penicillin, different antibiotics that you would give to your fish, and it's the same stuff that you're going to take into your body. You can get that at your pet stores and stuff, and that's a good way to stock up on antibiotics. So look up fish mocks if you're interested in other ways of stocking up antibiotics. We have a Clindamycin, 150 milligrams, another 7-day course of antibiotics. So we're going to go ahead and put those in our bag. Antibiotics are, in any kind of a long-term survival situation, are going to be a commodity. So I'm not going to get into it because I got to label this, but you do the same thing. Throw in your oxygen absorber, seal it, store it. Now I've got another course of antibiotics that can go into my long-term med kit. So I hope that was clear enough. I kind of just did this quick because I just got back from the dollar store with another batch of stuff I wanted to seal up. So I decided let's do it. Again, I had put a poll on the Facebook group page, Outdoor Life with Nick Laws on Facebook, and I got some responses saying, hey, yeah, that'd be cool, that'd be great. We'd like to see some stuff that's more civilian based. I am going to go through my car kit, or what I believe you should carry in your car for an emergency car kit. I started revamping my car kit, double checking what I'm carrying. And that also depends on your terrain, your season, where you are geographically. Yeah, that's the word, geographically. So if this is something, my usual YouTube guys, if this is something that I know it's a little off topic, you know, the name of the channel is Outdoor Life, and this is a little bit different, but I want to reiterate that the same mentality of surviving in a wilderness emergency or a lost in the woods situation is going to be the same mentality you're going to need to have to do it from your home or your apartment or in your community, whether it's for 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks or for long term. So if this is something you'd like to see more of, because I do a lot of this type of stuff in my everyday life, and I just don't add it into my YouTube because, again, I felt it was off topic. But I believe any information you can get, even if you just get one little thing out of a video that makes things easier for you or helps you to be a little more prepared for whatever you got to face, that's the whole point of this. The whole point is to help somebody. And again, do it on a budget. Hit the dollar store. You'd be amazed. $20 a paycheck. Walk through the dollar store with that mindset of, okay, let me stock some stuff up. I've stocked up on batteries. Yeah, they're cheap batteries, but they're cheap. And I can stock up on a bunch of them. Candles, matches, medical stuff, gauze, Band-Aids, you know, rubbing alcohol, peroxide, supplements. They're probably not the greatest in the world, but you can get little tiny jars of vitamin C, vitamin B, multivitamins. And just keep an eye out wherever you go. One of these days I'll have to do a video of going through, like, I hit all the thrift shops and I come up with amazing deals on a lot of my outdoor stuff. So thanks for watching. If you guys are interested, there's a link in the description for Montana Wilderness Survival and Bushcraft, and there's also a link in the description for the Patreon account. Patreon account is growing slowly, but it helps me to be able to do more of this kind of stuff for you, helps me to be able to do giveaways, and it just helps me to be able to continue to do this. I really enjoy doing this, and I'm trying to push toward the full time with the school. So thank you for your time. God bless you. Stay safe.